Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Kerry. And today I have Sabrina Ramkisson.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you excited to be on Coffee with Kerry?
A little bit intimidated. I mean, this is the first time that I think I'll be doing a personal talk. I'm usually very good at just medical and, down that alley. So this is going to be quite interesting.
That's what we're about. Quite interesting. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
So, Sabrina, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's Sabrina?
Well, Sabrina is, I think, a very simple girl. I have just been very much into women's health, and, that drives me a lot because I see a lot of women who, they need that sort of that inspiration, that person to look up to reach out to just be able to, understand about them, more about themselves. And I think that over the years, being in medical school and especially now coming out of it, I've always been very passionate and very driven by women. I really enjoy just helping them understand themselves. And in that way, I think I've understood a lot about myself.
Right.
If that makes any sense?
That does, because I think we're in a similar role of dealing with women. I deal with women in my my career, and I think that has also helped me to understand and learn things along the way. My clients have taught me so much that it's brought me to the point that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not about me. Nice try.
I did say that I wanted to put you on the hot spot.
So tell us a little bit about your career. What do you do, and how does Sabrina tie into
work on a daily basis?
Yeah.
So I am in obstetrics and gynecology. So I am into the female aspect of women's health. It's a 24/7 job. I have to tell you, it is. I don't think I have a minute time off.
You do, because you're on Coffee with Kerry.
Well, yeah.
You're on time off.
Besides
right now.
Coffee with Kerry, it really is a full-time job. So I deal with women on a daily basis. I deal with not only a health aspect, but I also get to sit with women. And what I love about what I do is I think I have possibly spoken to every type of woman that exists. And when I say that, I mean every personality, every shape and size, every what backgrounds they're from. And on a daily basis, I absolutely enjoy just learning about people. I think it's my field has taught me a lot about personalities and about people and what drives them, and what upsets them or what makes them happy, and how can I help them. And I think that's pretty much me.
So, all of those things that you've learned about people, I'm going to ask you.
I knew you were going to do me that, When I said I would do this with Kerry, I told him, I said, Kerry, I honestly don't know anything about myself, because I think all my life I've been so driven in one direction, and I think can I say lost myself in all of this?
I think we do. We tend to lose ourselves in our careers and daily life, that we forget that we are our own person.
Correct.
Yeah. So, what inspires you? What motivates you?
Well, I think absolutely loving what you do is, as you would know, I mean, getting up every morning and putting on your clothes and doing the same routine, and you must enjoy what you do, because
because that can get very boring.
It can get boring, definitely. But I mean, having that passion and really just enjoying getting out there and doing what you're doing, knowing that you're making a difference, I think is another thing, and knowing that people are dependent, because I think that's something that we have in common. I'm not trying to interview you. I have to say, but just knowing that there's so many women that are dependent on you. I mean, in your field, women are dependent on you, making them feel beautiful, giving them that confidence. They have a function to attend, and Kerry, oh my gosh, I need you. And in my field, it's sort of similar, because I think patients need me to reassure them that everything's okay. They may be having a concern, and they just need to hear from their doctor, Doc, I'm having this, is this okay? And I think knowing that people need you, I think that's half the drive. I think that's half the energy.
That somebody is there waiting for you.
Correct. That they're dependent,
But who's waiting for you?
Who's waiting for me? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm hoping that this interview can help me, or you can help me with those answers that I probably need.
Yeah. So who is waiting for you right now, Sabrina?
Who is waiting for me? Besides my husband, and probably having to go home and make dinner.
Which is good.
Which is good.
I know Kevin very well.
Yeah.
So he doesn't cook.
I don't know. You know, it's good sometimes to, I guess, do these things to kind of just be real.
Yeah.
To take yourself out of that role of doctor, you know, off doctor mode, as I like to say, and just sit with myself and actually learn about myself. And I thank you very much for doing this, because I think this is something that I don't do. I don't sit, I don't reflect.
Right.
You know, I don't try to figure certain things out that I probably should have after so many years.
I think a lot of people don't take the time to really ask themselves the simple questions like, what makes me tick? What makes me do what I do? What makes me react the way that I react?
Correct.
So that being said, where do you find the balance between your career and you?
I think a lot of that has to do, and I have to say, I think it's Kevin. Because before I met Kevin, I was just workaholic, 24/7, not taking time for myself. And Kevin was the one who actually told me, Sabrina, you need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to reboot. You need to, it's Sunday, put down your phone. You know, the patients are not you know, unless it's an emergency, they're going to be okay. But you have to recharge. You have to stop. You have to reboot. You have to just sit with yourself and just appreciate the simple things. Look at a movie. You know, just look outside the window and look at the birds chirping. Because these are the things that you take for granted on a daily basis.
What does Sabrina do?
What does Sabrina do? Besides work, I actually have taken up yoga.
I love that.
Which
done the same thing as well recently.
Which I think is good, because I mean, it's hard, I must say. Like the yoga part I'm good at, because I'm good at stretching, but when we have to get into the meditation part, oh my goodness.
I know, it's hard to take your mind. And I'm likewise, where I feel like if I take my mind off of what I'm doing, I almost lose myself. So I have to hold on to that.
I think that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
But I've learned to really, I went into a yoga class and my instructor said, trust me to take care of you in this 1 hour.
Right.
Leave everything that is going on outside and let it be.
Right.
Because this is your time.
Right.
You know, and I think that is something that we forget.
Yeah.
And we need to pay attention to more, like what makes us come alive.
Well, exercise is certainly something that I love. I could have the worst day, I can have the most tiring day, but I would literally get into the gym and just probably do about 45 minutes to an hour, and I feel so revived afterwards.
So you would say that exercise plays an important part in your daily routine and maybe even your beauty regime?
I definitely think so, because, you know, when you exercise, you release what they call the happy hormones. So this is me in doctor mode again, sorry.
Ooh.
But your endorphins.
Right.
And your endorphins are hormones that are just, you know, they're there to make you feel happy. You realize that your skin looks better. You find that your complexion actually improves. You know, the power of exercise, I think, is just amazing in itself.
Right.
And it clears your mind, I think, a lot of the time. You know, you put on your headphones, you're just on that treadmill, you zone out from everybody, and, you know, you're able to really get a good, relaxing session in.
I love that. Relaxing session. If you were to choose somewhere to be, to go, to do, to really reset and recharge, what would that be?
I think that would be going back to Bali. On our honeymoon, we went to Bali, and I absolutely fell in love with this place. The people, the you know, the serenity,
right.
The temples, you know, it's just I just think it's a different vibe, a different mood, a different energy that I absolutely can live in Bali.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love travel as well too, and I think people should spend more time.
Well, that's definitely
traveling.
That's every year I tell myself we have to go away for 2 weeks. At the end of the year, we just must go.
Somewhere
new, somewhere exciting. Just drop your phones and just get out there, because I think the world has so much to offer, And I think there's so much to learn, there's so much culture, there's so much history. I am just very passionate about travel. Just my job doesn't let me go because I deliver patients, and sometimes my patients will go, "Doc, I hope you're not traveling at the end of the year when my due date is." And I go,
that sounds like somebody I know. Because my clients come in and they're like, "Kerry, when next?" The first question is not when can I have an appointment?
Yeah.
But when next are you traveling?
Yeah,
yes.
I know. It's it almost feels like you can never go anywhere because you know there's somebody that's going to be dependent. But in all of that, and having said all that, somebody told me the other day, they said, "Sabrina, if you drop down, your patient's going to find somebody." And I think, it's, they didn't mean it in any bad way, but I think they tried to put that into perspective for me to see that it's okay. It's okay to stop. It's okay to take a little time out from your obligations and your responsibilities and just take a little time for you.
I've found myself in that journey in life, and I used to commit to my clients and commit to my job and commit to my business. But what that meant, that I was losing myself.
You, yeah.
For everything, for every day, for every time, for every hour that I committed to my business and to my career and to my clients, I lost a little bit of myself.
Of course. And I think I totally relate to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to step back and start taking back my life, taking back control of my life, getting back into the gym, starting back yoga, and doing all of these things that I need.
Yeah.
What does Sabrina need to feed her mind, her body, and her spirit?
I think I need energy. I think positive energy, surrounding yourself with people that matter, that, when I say matter, I mean the important people, your family, spending time and not neglecting them, just stopping and again, identifying that you just need to take a little bit of you time. I call it me time, little time out. I say woosah every now and then.
So is that your word?
That's my word. It's these days it's woosah.
Woosah.
And that's just raising your hands up in the air and saying, okay, I just need to stop for a minute. I need to, reevaluate where I am, what I'm doing, get a little time for myself, my family, my husband, my friends, and then go again,
So do you have, like you said, you have woosah, which is your...
Not my mantra, but my word.
But what is your mantra? What would you say would inspire someone, or what advice would you give to one of your patients?
Yeah. My biggest thing that I share with patients, which I think that it has personally helped me, is 3 words. It's think it, believe it, and then achieve it. You like that one?
I love it.
Don't steal it. Because the thing is that you have to start with a thought.
Right.
You have to put that energy into that thought. Otherwise, you're not going to believe it. And if you don't believe it, you're never going to achieve it.
I kid you not.
That's yours.
That I wrote that and I spoke about that in my interview this morning.
Nice.
Like, you have to first think it.
You have to.
And then you have to bring that thought to action and then complete it. And that's the full circle.
That's how I live my life. That's how I've been living my life for the last few years. And in applying that to my life, I've seen so many things open. I've seen doors open. I've seen opportunities open. I've seen just positivity throughout. When I was specializing, for example, the exams are tough. The pass rates are extremely low. And when I put that in, that's when I passed. That's when I passed my exams. So I had to think, and I had to say, Sabrina, you have to think that you have to believe that you can achieve all of this.
Right.
All of the stress, all of the studying, all of the everything, and it all worked out. It does.
What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self? Don't do half the things that you did when you were younger. I think telling when we're younger, I think we're too much on supercharge.
Right, and you think you can do everything.
You think you're invincible. You don't stop and you don't smell the roses. You don't see what life has to offer you. You're just kind of going in this direction. And I think the younger self, and I think a lot of younger people out there, everything's becoming too competitive, Kerry. And I think that people need to stop and realize that life is not a competition. And we're not all going to have to get the best shoes and the best bag and the best car and the best, I think that's where a lot of our society is going. And it's sad because we're losing ourselves in that process.
Do you think social media has a part to play with that?
Huge part to play with it.
Yeah.
I mean, social media has its good and its bad. You know, I mean, I use social media as a forum to educate my patients.
Right.
So in that regard, it's good. You would use social media to educate people about their hair and, you know, how can you strengthen, how can you do this, how can you do that with respect to it. But it also has its bad, because when you see somebody posting up where they've been and what they drive and what they do, you think that that's life. And that's
it's not.
Absolutely not life.
Yeah, because I dress up for the camera a lot.
Exactly. But when you're home, you love to be in your short pants, you know, and relaxing.
A client came into the salon and she said, Kerry, I want to see that person. And she pointed to one of the posters on the wall. Or like they flip through a magazine and they're like, I want to see that person. But that's
that person doesn't exist. And that person is not you, is not what you're meant to be.
No.
No.
Oh,
yeah. I think I saw when you did that. So it was something about the Kim Kardashian hair. I saw I saw when you had your little rant. But you know, it's true. I mean, you definitely brought something to the forefront, which is that you can't fit the picture. Be your own person. Be your own self. You know, everyone is unique. We have so much to offer. Be you. Don't be a mold.
That message has been resonating, and I think people are becoming more aware of themselves. And for every person that I interview, I keep hearing we need to be true to our own selves, and authenticity is
your brand. It's you.
But it's on one level it's lacking, and then I think people are trying to find authenticity. You know, medically speaking.
Ooh, I love this. Right up my alley.
Medically speaking, what advice would you give someone who has been going through a lot in their life personally and maybe trying to find themselves?
Well, that's a daily thing, you know. Every day I sit with women and I listen to them, and I listen to the fact that they've lost themselves in being a wife, in being a mother, in being somebody's sister, somebody's aunt. I always tell them, just stop. Just, you know, yes, you can do your responsibilities. Yes, you can be there for everybody, but you have to stop and make time for yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself and you drop down and you have all these people dependent on you, where are you leaving them?
Yeah.
You know, when you haven't taken care of yourself because you've not done your tests or your screening, for example, you know, I'm very passionate about pap smear awareness and cervical screening and all that. My point is, if you don't stop and you do things like that, and then you're lying down on a hospital bed and everybody that was dependent on you is around you and you're helpless in that situation, then what? You can't go back the years before and get it all back.
No.
So pull yourself back and, you know,
it's like put your air mask on before you can
correct, exactly,
help someone else.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to oxygenate yourself before you can oxygenate or help anybody else.
Yes, I agree with that. I have 2 questions.
More questions, Kerry?
Of course. Questions with Kerry or coffee with Kerry?
Coffee with Kerry.
Lovely. How would you describe yourself, and how would your friends describe you?
I wonder how my friends describe me. How do I describe myself? I think I'm simple. I think I'm extremely loving. I think that people judge me because, and I think that's for all of us, you know, they see you in the mall somewhere, they think you're unapproachable.
Right.
It's only when patients come in the office and they go, my gosh, doc, you know, it's so easy to speak to you. It's so easy, you know, I thought that you may have been judgmental, but I just find myself easy to, you know, I'm able to share everything with you. Yeah. And I think that is something that makes me feel happy, you know, to know that people can see beyond that exterior, and that you're really a simple, that facade, that you're really a simple person, that, you know, it's just easygoing.
And what would your friends say about you?
I think my friends think that I'm their best friend. No, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what my friends think about me. I hope it's good things. I have a core group of friends.
Right.
I think in this life we have a lot of acquaintances. We have a lot of people that we know. We have a lot of people that, you know, we speak to occasionally. But your core group of friends, I think that is just priceless. To have that 1 or 2 person just call you and say, how has your day been? How are you? You don't look so well, you know.
What does friendship mean to you?
What does friendship mean to me?
Yes.
I think friendship means...
I'm not having a tough time with that, but I feel like, you know, the word friend, just like the word love, has been abused. And I feel like there's no value to those words anymore. So who would you describe as a friend?
I think a friend is somebody who's not afraid to tell you real things.
Right.
You know, sometimes you in what you think is a friendship, and that person may see something that they need to tell you, or they should tell you, but they don't.
Right.
And I think a real friend is somebody that just stops and says, listen, Sabrina, so-and-so is the case, you know, this may not be right. I think you should do, you know, just somebody to have your back.
Right.
You know,
I
just
agree.
genuinely have your back. Is to me what a friend is. And you call on them when you're having a down day, and they're the person that's going to be there. You know, meet me in so-and-so place and let's have a cup of coffee, and they're there. I guess kind of coffee with Kerry, right? So now you can be my friend. You are my friend, you know what I mean?
And, you know, again, like, this has opened up so many new friendships and brought back to life old friendships, and really showed me who are the people that will support you and who would love you for you and not for anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us something about yourself that we don't know, or that Kevin doesn't know.
Something about myself that nobody knows. I mean, I guess other people do this, but I love to sing very loudly and pretend that I'm a singer, either in the shower or in the car. I don't know if that... I think I always kind of wanted to be a singer.
Right.
Yeah, but one, I don't think I have a voice for it, so that's why I do it in very private places. But I guess I've always just wanted to, you know, that whole stage and that whole performance and that whole energy and everything. I kind of secretly do that.
And my advice to you...
Do it.
Would be to do it. Because I interviewed someone who said to me that nothing is impossible, Kerry.
I agree.
And anything that you set your mind to or you have a passion for, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take you up on that.
Lovely. So our next Coffee with Kerry, you'll be singing for me.
I will do a tune.
Or two. Or two. Or two. Or am I pushing my luck?
You're pushing your luck.
Okay. All right, cool. Any closing comments?
I think what you're doing is lovely. And, you know, you and I, we see each other, but we don't really see each other.
Right, yeah.
Right? And I honestly think that what you're doing here is something to be seriously admired. Just coming out here, and despite what people have to say, you know, you're coming, you're sitting with people, you're having real conversations, you're getting people to understand themselves, you're getting people to understand others, you know, because I think a lot of us, and especially a lot of us that you're interviewing, we're kind of always in the public eye, but people don't really know us.
No.
And I think that that's important, and I appreciate what you're doing.
And I think it's about time that somebody does that and helps to clarify the facades, the misunderstandings, the social barriers that exist. And I've been learning so much from my own show by interviewing people who I admire and I respect, and would love to share that with everybody. So thank you, Sabrina, for coming on Coffee with Kerry.
Coffee is my favorite, so honestly, I think that was half the reason I came here. The other half is you, of course.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So guys, that was Coffee with Kerry with the lovely Sabrina Ramkisson, and we hope to see you soon.
Bye.